Walk into any Lowe's right now and head straight past those big shiny displays trying to sell you $300 cordless combo kits. Keep moving past the lumberyard where contractors load up their trucks. Hang a left toward the tool aisles and start looking at the bottom shelves and clearance end caps. That's where the real treasure hunt begins. Most people have absolutely no idea that Lowe's is sitting on some of the best tool values in America, hidden in plain sight for under $20. I'm talking about gear that performs surprisingly well compared to premium brands costing 2 or 3 times more. The tool truck dealers definitely don't advertise when budget options deliver solid results because it challenges their whole business model of maintaining premium price points for everyday tools. Here's what savvy shoppers understand about big box retail dynamics. Stores like Lowe's have massive purchasing power that smaller retailers simply cannot match. They order huge quantities directly from manufacturers and operate on slimmer profit margins per unit while making money through volume. You're not paying for multiple distributor networks, franchise fees, regional warehouses, or commissioned salespeople who need to earn living wages from each sale. That's why Cobalt tools often deliver excellent value compared to premium brands. The actual manufacturing quality can be remarkably similar, while the retail price reflects completely different business models. I've been testing tools for over 15 years across professional and DIY applications, and I'm about to show you 10 categories under $20 that consistently deliver reliable performance for typical workshop needs. Some contractors quietly stock up on these budget options for everyday work, while others keep overpaying for brand recognition alone without getting proportionally better results. Let's start with socket adapters that expand your drill's capabilities. Cobalt makes quick change socket adapter sets that typically run in the $12 to $15 range depending on current promotions. You usually get 3 adapters in these sets that transform any standard drill into a versatile socket driver for assembly work. 1/4 inch, 3/8 inch, and 1/2 inch drive adapters come with hex shanks that fit any standard drill chuck without special modifications. These handle typical DIY and light professional torque loads with spring-loaded ball detents that actually hold sockets securely during use instead of letting them fall off constantly. I've personally assembled entire storage sheds using these adapters without any performance issues. We're talking hundreds of bolts, lag screws, and various fasteners. The adapters held up without slipping, bending, or showing premature wear, even after extended use. At this price point, you can afford to keep backup sets in multiple locations for convenience. Keep one in your truck for job sites, one in your main tool bag for shop work, and maybe one in that kitchen drawer where tools somehow mysteriously accumulate over time. Speaking of mysterious disappearances, magnetic pickup tools solve one of the most frustrating workshop problems. Cobalt's extendable magnetic pickup tools typically run under $10 at most Lowe's locations. You get telescoping reach that extends significantly beyond arm length for retrieving dropped sockets from deep engine bays, screws that rolled under heavy cabinets, and bolts that fell into seemingly impossible crevices during projects. The quick release button design lets you drop retrieved items precisely where needed without awkward contortionist moves while trying to maintain grip. The telescoping shaft locks firmly at any extension point without that annoying gradual collapse under pressure that cheaper magnetic tools suffer from constantly. I've fished, dropped tools from inside walls during renovation projects, retrieved fasteners from tight spaces behind appliances, and saved countless minutes that would otherwise be spent on hands and knees searching. Your back and knees will genuinely appreciate avoiding constant bending and crawling around on hard floors. Digital tape measures offer real practical advantages over traditional models. Cobalt's digital tape measures typically price in the $18 to $20 range, depending on specific features. Regular tape measures work perfectly fine for many applications, until you find yourself working in dim lighting conditions or trying to hold materials steady with one hand while squinting at tiny measurement marks with the other. Digital versions incorporate backlit LCD screens that display measurements instantly and clearly, with memory functions that store your last reading. Professional cabinet installers and countertop fabricators genuinely appreciate this measurement precision because it helps eliminate those costly cutting mistakes that waste expensive materials. The tape mechanism itself is usually a standard 25-footer with typical blade width and reasonable standout distance. You're not sacrificing any traditional tape measure functionality, you're just adding digital accuracy and convenience to the package. The battery typically lasts many months of regular use because screens only activate when the tape is actually extended and displaying measurements. Torpedo levels represent essential workshop tools that everyone needs. Cobalt makes 9-inch torpedo levels that typically sell for under $10 at regular pricing. These include 3 bubble vials for checking level and plumb, magnetic bases for hands-free use, and V-groove edges for special applications. They handle all common leveling tasks like hanging pictures accurately, installing shelves properly, leveling appliances correctly, or checking door frame alignment during installation. The built-in magnets stick securely to metal studs and HVAC ductwork for hands-free operation, so both your hands stay completely available for making adjustments instead of trying to juggle the level while simultaneously reading bubbles and turning adjustment screws. The V-groove edge design cradles round surfaces like pipes and conduit perfectly for plumbing and electrical installation work. At this affordable price point, you can reasonably scatter multiple levels throughout your entire workspace without worrying about occasional loss or accidental damage. Keep one in the garage for vehicle work, one in your main workshop, one in the house for hanging projects. Ratcheting screwdrivers dramatically reduce hand and wrist fatigue during extended use. Cobalt's ratcheting screwdriver sets typically run in the $14 to $16 range for a quality handle, plus assorted common bits. Traditional straight screwdrivers force you to completely reset your grip position after every single turn of the fastener. This becomes tedious and slow during any substantial project, and it absolutely murders your wrist during extended assembly work. Ratcheting versions let you maintain constant downward pressure on the fastener, while the internal mechanism smoothly clicks through rotation cycles, doing all the turning work. Forward, reverse, and locked positions provide complete directional control without constantly swapping between different tools. The magnetic bit holder securely retains bits during use, and the included selection usually covers most common fastener types you'll actually encounter, like Phillips heads, flathead slots, and square drive recess patterns in various practical sizes. Professional furniture assemblers genuinely appreciate being able to zip efficiently through dozens or even hundreds of screws during typical workdays without developing painful repetitive strain injuries in their hands and forearms. I've personally assembled multiple large bookcases and similar furniture without ever feeling the need to switch to my cordless drill because ratcheting screwdrivers made everything smooth and comfortable. Metric hex key sets with ball ends are genuinely invaluable for modern assembly work. Cobalt manufactures 13-piece metric hex key sets that typically sell for under $10. What makes these particular sets genuinely special compared to basic loose hex keys is the precision ground ball end on each tool's long arm section. This ball end design allows you to work at up to 30-degree angles from perpendicular, instead of requiring perfect straight alignment with recessed bolt heads. Anyone who's ever struggled with reaching recessed bolts in tight spaces knows exactly how much this angled access capability matters in real-world applications. The short arm retains standard hex ends for delivering maximum torque when you really need serious tightening or loosening power. The included holder keeps your entire set properly organized instead of having loose keys constantly rattling around through cluttered tool drawers. Bicycle mechanics particularly appreciate these ball-end sets because modern bicycles incorporate metric fasteners positioned in seemingly impossible locations throughout frame assemblies and component mounts. Ball-end access means you can actually reach and adjust bolts without completely disassembling half the bike just to access one adjustment point. I've personally used mine extensively for exercise equipment assembly, lawnmower maintenance and adjustments, and various furniture assembly and repair projects. The build quality consistently handles typical DIY and light professional use without rounding out bolt heads or bending under normal working loads. Utility knives with quick blade changes genuinely save significant time on job sites. Cobalt manufactures utility knives with tool-free blade changing systems that typically sell for under $10. Traditional utility knife designs require you to unscrew tiny fasteners, very carefully extract razor-sharp used blades without slicing fingers, insert fresh blades at precisely the correct angle and position, then completely reassemble everything while hoping all components stay properly aligned. Cobalt's slide mechanism design smoothly ejects spent blades and accepts fresh replacement blades in literally just seconds of work time. No additional tools required, no significant finger injury risks from handling loose blades. The grip design stays comfortable and secure, even when your hands are sweaty from exertion or covered in drywall dust from cutting. Built-in blade storage compartments hold multiple spare blades right inside the handle body, so you're never hunting around for fresh blades in the middle of active projects. Professional carpet installers and drywall contractors genuinely appreciate quick blade changes throughout their workdays because cutting materials constantly dulls blades. Every minute saved on blade changes throughout a full workday adds up to meaningful time and productivity improvements. Basic plier sets cover most common shop needs affordably. Cobalt manufactures two-piece plier sets, typically selling around $18, that include both groove joint pliers for larger work and long nose pliers for precision tasks. Most DIY enthusiasts and occasional users aren't professional tradespeople using pliers for 40 hours every single week. They simply need reliable tools that will perform adequately for occasional projects without failing at critical moments. These handle typical household and light professional tasks with integrated cutting edges for snipping wire and cable ties cleanly. Groove joint designs provide multiple jaw opening positions through simple slide adjustment mechanisms. Long nose pliers reach effectively into tight electrical boxes and grab small parts from confined spaces behind appliances. Comfort grip handles reduce hand fatigue during extended gripping work. I've successfully rebuilt leaky faucets and completed various household repairs using these pliers without any functionality issues. Having affordable backup pliers readily available means that lost or accidentally broken tools don't completely stop your projects in their tracks. Folding utility saws offer remarkable versatility in compact packages. Cobalt manufactures folding utility saws that typically sell around $13. The saw blade folds completely into the protective handle for genuinely safe storage and transport without risk. No more dangerously loose saw blades randomly damaging everything else inside crowded tool bags and storage areas. The aggressive tooth pattern cuts effectively on both forward push and backward pull strokes, making literally every motion productive instead of just pushing sawdust around wastefully. I've successfully trimmed tree branches, cut PVC plumbing pipe, sliced dimensional lumber, and even cut through drywall panels when utility knives weren't providing adequate results. Replaceable blade designs mean that eventually dull blades after dozens of projects can be quickly swapped for fresh, sharp blades instead of requiring you to purchase entirely new, complete saws. Professional landscapers and building maintenance workers frequently carry these folding saws because they're remarkably lightweight, extremely compact for storage, and surprisingly efficient for their size. The physics of shorter blades with aggressive tooth patterns actually means less binding and cuts and more efficient material removal compared to some longer traditional saws. Now let's talk about pry bars that every workshop needs. Cobalt makes pry bar sets typically selling around $16 to $18 for multiple sizes. You usually get an assortment including shorter bars for delicate work and longer bars for maximum leverage. Pry bars separate those who successfully complete demolition and renovation projects from those who get frustrated and quit. Removing old trim molding without destroying reusable pieces, pulling stubborn nails embedded deep, prying apart glued joints, separating old deck boards. All these tasks require proper leverage combined with correct tool geometry. The flat ends need sufficient thinness to slip into tight gaps, while maintaining enough strength to resist bending under working pressure. Nail pulling slots need proper V-notches for securely grabbing nail heads without constantly slipping off. I've removed entire rooms' worth of baseboard trim during flooring projects without breaking pieces because proper pry bars distribute force evenly across the work. The longer bars provide mechanical advantage for separating glued deck boards without excessive physical strain. Professional remodeling contractors keep multiple pry bar sets readily available because these tools frequently get lost, loaned to other workers, or accidentally left at completed job sites. At under $20 for complete sets, replacing them doesn't require budget approval or cause financial stress. Organization systems transform chaotic workshops into functional spaces. Cobalt manufactures wall storage systems with multiple bins and hooks, typically selling around $20 for complete starter sets. You get various sized bins and different hook configurations for holding everything from tiny drill bits to larger power tools. Here's why these particular systems work when other organization attempts consistently fail. The components mount directly onto track systems that attach to pegboard, wall studs, or specialized slat wall panels. This means you can completely rearrange your entire workshop organization layout in minutes without drilling dozens of new mounting holes or creating walls that look like Swiss cheese. The storage bins use clear plastic construction so you can actually see contents without opening every single container, like some frustrating storage treasure hunt. The hooks come in varying lengths and weight capacities for hanging everything from extension cords to heavier power tools safely. Professional mechanics frequently use similar organization systems throughout their service bays because tools assigned to visible designated homes simply don't disappear as frequently. When every tool has an obvious assigned spot, you immediately notice what's missing and where each item belongs. I personally installed this type of system throughout my garage several months ago, and it genuinely transformed how I work daily. No more wasting time digging through cluttered drawers, hunting for specific items. No more losing small essential parts that fall into disorganized chaos. Everything stays visible, easily accessible, and logically organized by project type or frequency of use. Rechargeable LED work lights solve lighting challenges throughout workshops. Cobalt makes rechargeable LED work lights, typically selling around $18 to $20. Plenty of cheaper flashlights exist, and certainly more expensive work lights are available. But what makes these particular lights genuinely useful is the combination of magnetic bases and integrated rotating hooks. The light can stick hands-free to any convenient metal surface, or hang from any available point using the built-in hook mechanism. The LED output provides genuinely useful working illumination, not those wildly inflated marketing lumen numbers that promise spectacular brightness, but actually deliver light comparable to dying fireflies. Rechargeable battery systems mean you're not constantly purchasing and replacing disposable batteries, like you're feeding some insatiable electrical vampire. I've used mine extensively for everything from working under vehicle hoods to illuminating dark corners during basement renovation projects. The runtime on full charges covers most typical evening projects without requiring inconvenient mid-work recharging breaks. Professional HVAC. Technicians regularly carry these lights because crawl spaces and attics rarely come equipped with convenient overhead lighting systems. Magnetic bases stick securely to ductwork, while hooks hang from ceiling joists, keeping both hands completely free for actual work. Adjustable wrenches remain essential despite socket sets. Cobalt manufactures adjustable wrenches in various sizes, typically selling for under $20 for quality pieces. Yes, dedicated socket sets provide better grip and more torque capacity for many fastening situations. But adjustable wrenches excel when dealing with odd-sized hardware, damaged fastener heads, or situations where socket access simply isn't physically possible. The jaw adjustment mechanism needs smooth operation without excessive play or looseness. The jaw faces require proper machining to grip fasteners securely without rounding corners under working loads. I've used adjustable wrenches countless times for plumbing connections, appliance installations, furniture assembly, using metric hardware when only standard sockets were available, and numerous situations where the adjustability proved invaluable. Professional maintenance workers carry multiple sized adjustable wrenches, specifically because they handle unpredictable fastener situations that dedicated sockets simply cannot address. An 8-inch adjustable wrench fits comfortably in tool belts while providing sufficient leverage for most common applications without excessive bulk. Bit and socket organizers prevent the frustration of lost pieces. Cobalt makes various organizer designs for bits and sockets, typically selling well under $20. Anyone who's spent 10 minutes hunting for one specific socket or bit understands this frustration intimately. Loose pieces roll around in toolboxes, fall between drawers, and mysteriously vanish exactly when you need them most urgently. Proper organizers keep everything visible and sorted by size so you can instantly grab what's needed without breaking workflow momentum. Socket organizers typically use rail designs that hold sockets in size order with clear labeling. Bit organizers feature individual slots or magnetic strips that prevent mixing and confusion. Professional technicians who work on customer equipment at various locations particularly appreciate compact organizers because efficiently finding the right piece quickly directly impacts their productivity and customer satisfaction. I've personally wasted countless hours over years searching through dis-premium brand names you recognize from advertising. Actually pick up these budget-oriented tools in your hands, carefully examine their build quality and construction details, and directly compare their specifications against premium alternatives costing significantly more money. You'll frequently discover that many substantial price differences primarily reflect brand perception and marketing rather than meaningful functional superiority. Professional contractors increasingly use budget tools for routine everyday work while reserving premium pieces for specialized applications only. Cover all your fundamental basics with reliable, affordable gear first, then invest more heavily in those specific tools you personally use most frequently. Your completed projects will turn out equally well, regardless of which brand names appear on tool handles. Your wallet stays healthier with more money for materials. Walk into Lowe's ready to explore budget options objectively and make smart purchasing choices based on your real practical needs rather than brand recognition alone now. That's real value discovery.